Alright guys, so I just got back from the hardware trip and I purchased just a bunch of things for my next project today. I've picked up some corner pieces, a couple brackets, right angle brackets, some steel rivets, some aluminum rivets, two styles of flat hinges. You'll see what they're good for when I get there. Picked up a foot-long piece of piano hinge and a handle. So these are the parts I'm going to use, and now I'm going to start building. Alright, so for this project I have picked out two pieces of plywood. This one up front is a 1/2 inch thick, and this one behind it is 3/4 inch thick. Oops, sorry about that. This back one is 3/4 inch thick. Hopefully I can get it all on just the 1/2 inch thick, but if I can't map it out on this one, I'm going to have to use the thicker stuff. But it won't matter, just because either one way it's going to be nice and light, on the other hand it'll be a little more durable. Alright, so it's the next day, and I decided to pick up this. This is 1.5 by 2 foot by 4 foot MDF board. There you go. But I decided to pick that up just because I figured I'd like to try it out. It's a little heavier, nice and smooth, very, good looking compared to uneven wood grain, or I just figured I'd give it a try. So I bought two of these. This is the one that's left over. And then I also have these. These are the results of measuring and cutting to the dimensions I wanted. I have two pieces here that are 18 by 14. Then I have two pieces that are, looks like 3.5 by 13 and 18 by 3.5. Those are the dimensions I decided to go with, just because I thought it looked good. And since it's already cut out, you guys won't have to see that. I am going to try and glue it all together. I got a new toy, so maybe I'll get to play with that today. Hopefully I won't break it. I'm going to test it out first on a scrap piece. But, yeah. I'm going to put this up together, and then I'll bring you guys back. Alright, and we're back. So, this is how it's coming out. So far, everything's glued to... Everything has glue in every seam. I was able to put those little brads in all on the corners and on the bottom. If I can get you some light. Yeah, you can see the little spots on here. All on the bottom. I haven't nailed the top because my brads are longer than I want the lid to be deep. So I haven't nailed it. I'll nail it in once I cut the lid off so I can trim the heads of the brads off, or sorry, the tail end of the brads off. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to even up the edges just a hair, and then I'm going to measure it out. I've already decided I want it to be 1.25 inches down from the top. That's how deep I want the lid. So what I'm going to do, make it nice and easy on myself, is once I, even off these little off patches here, I'm going to take it over to my table saw. I'll set that rip fence over 1.25 inches, then I'll just run the box, save my hands the blade, I'll just run the box right along the line, keep it right up against the fence, it'll come out nice and even, and it'll, come right off. So, that's what I'm going to do, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, I apologize for the poor lighting in here, but I've gotten it as good as I can without blinding you guys. But just to clarify what I was saying, you don't need these. Just to clarify what I was saying about how I'm going to make the lid, I'm going to take the fence here, I'm going to set it to 1.25 inches, how deep I want my lid, lock it in place, grab my box, set the lid right up against the fence, and run it right along. Hold on, let me try and get a better lighting for this. Alright, hopefully that's a little better for you guys. Let I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the box, just slide it right along, flip it over, put it up against the fence, slide it right along, and just continue that for all the sides. That'll make a nice even top, nice even lid for me. Alright, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'll see you guys when I get back. Alright, so I got the lid all set. And I've already started to put the hinge on, but I'll show you that in a moment. Right now, the box opens up. Everything fits nicely together. It's got a good depth to it. As you can see, I've still got some stuff in the bottom there that's from drilling. What I'm doing is for the hinge, instead of using the screws that it came with, I'm using 1/4-inch rivets. These are just aluminum, just to prevent rusting and oxidization or whatever. But yeah, I'm riveting it in just because I want it to be a little more secure tamper-wise. I understand it's wood and you can probably just smash it against the ground. But still, I'd rather have it be riveted than just have a regular Phillips head screw in there. So, that's what I'm doing. What I am using is my 5/32 bit, which makes sense because this is a 5/32 diameter. And there's an owl outside apparently. But yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna finish doing that. Then I'm gonna start installing the hinges. And I'll show you how I do that when I get there. Alright, so I bought 2 of these hinges. I got very lucky. I bought them under the assumption that they were the same and they could just be flipped around. But I got very lucky and I bought a left and a right. On this one, kind of see that L right in the center there. On this one, if we can focus, has an R. Hopefully you're making that out. There you go. Has an R on it. So they're not one and the same. But luckily I got them both. Unfortunately, I do not need one. Well, I should say fortunately, because that means there's less dead space and there's less things I have to, less wasted space because of the hinges. But I got that in there. It can go forward, it can lock in place. Keeps it nice and sturdy at a 90-degree angle. And if I want to shut it, all I gotta do is pop it. Shuts it down, nice and easy. I'll show you what I'm doing here in a minute. But yeah, that's the hinge. All it is just 3 screws. We got one right there at the bottom. And we got 2 right there. It'll focus. There we go. We got 2 right there. And I wasn't entirely sure how to do it. I just kind of played around with it until it got a good fit. You can see I have another hole right next to it. That was the original one and it didn't work quite as nicely as I had hoped. But no biggies. I just removed the screw, drilled a new hole, and now it works perfect. So, as you can see from here, I am going to be putting an aluminum extrusion framework around it. Put it at 45 degrees. This one needs to be cleaned up a little. But it's going to have 45-degree chamfers on the ends. They're all going to butt up nicely. Make a nice solid ring on the outside. I'm going to try and do all on the sides, on the bottom. Right now I'm working on this piece. Oops. Yeah, this piece. There's a mark right about there. If you can see it, there's another one down there. And what that's going to do, flip everything around here. That's marked for, sorry about this, hold on. There we go. That's marked so that it can go around this hinge. Because right now it's kind of on top of it. So I'm going to carve out a little channel for it to sit flush against the box with. And I'm going to try and finish up the rest of the framework. Then I'll get back to you guys when that's all done. Alright, so I got the framework on. I was going to do pieces here, but It doesn't look good. I don't like how it looks. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to focus on evening up these sides, fixing all the, trying to fix all the crimes I committed. I've put the handle on. This was a pain in the butt because at first I tried rivets. Because again, I didn't want to do the screws. But it didn't work. So these two screws, I originally used the rivets in. These two aren't really secure. These two are holding it fine. It's not going anywhere. But these two I had to repair. So, yeah, I just learned from my experience. Do not, unless you got really, really long rivets, these 1/4-inch ones don't work for this. So that's that. I'll probably put something in there to prevent tampering if I really feel like it. I gotta do something with these edges, but that'll be later. I'm gonna move on from now. What I'm going to do now is inside here, I've installed this. So what I'm gonna do from here is cover the entire inside with a black felt that I picked up from one of the fabric stores. Why is this so blurry? There we go. Nope. And it's blurry again. I apologize. I have no idea what's going on here. There we go. Okay. But, yep, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to clean up in there, maybe take a vacuum to it. And, yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to remove this lid support so I can properly get to all the nooks and crannies of the thing. Alright, so I'm going to do that, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, so this is the box. It's almost all finished up. I decided not to put felt up there, just out of, keep it open for future plans if I ever want to put files up there or some kind of folders. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm a little stuffed up today. Haven't been feeling well this week. So, that's why this video's out now instead of earlier. Here's my dinner. I decided not to felt this part just yet. If you can see that. It's not felted here. Because instead of just keeping these screws just sheared off the way they are, I kind of want to put a bracket and some actual bolts on there to really keep it secure. But that's the box, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely make one for yourself. It's always nice to have a briefcase. My next thing is I'm gonna start coming up with a way to put a clamping system on, so I don't have to hold it shut every time I hold it. But that's gonna be the end of this video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have fun building.